Congratulations, Daniel, on being named the 2024 CFDA International Designer of the Year.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It sounds crazier even hearing it said back to me, but yeah, amazing. It's been an amazing week. There's really no other place I'd rather be to celebrate than here. So thank you.
That means the world to me. Thank you. As the first American designer ever appointed to a French maison, you are truly a pioneer, and by all accounts, you're doing a superb job. Is the frisson between American sensibilities and French craftsmanship your secret sauce?
I think so. I always feel like pop culture is born here, and the savoir-faire is born there. And I think that the chemistry between the two has oftentimes in fashion proven to be really stellar.
The French say, let's take our time, and the Americans say, faster, faster.
Exactly. It's a good combo. We kind of need each other.
So this cross-cultural pollination is a very good thing.
Essential. Definitely, especially in this industry. Yep.
I know you're inspired by pop music, and the best of pop music, you explained to students, has a memorable hook. And you pointed out to our students that fashion also needs to have a hook. What constitutes a hook in fashion?
I think it's something visually that sort of mirrors the effect of what a great lyric or a great melody can do. And if you can make a look or a collection or a piece as addictive as a pop song hook, then you've got your audience. I try to create addictive imagery, and Schiaparelli that's felt very natural there. She was more than a dressmaker. She was an image maker in my mind. And I felt like the most memorable moments for her, it was not about a silhouette. It was about an idea. And that has been something that I've really tried to carry forward.
You're a good ambassador for the more intellectual approach, I think, too.
Maybe. I mean, I think it's been a great fit. The archives are so rich. I was saying earlier, it was not my first instinct was to embrace the archives.
And you shouldn't.
No, I had to carve out my own voice and also prove myself to the world too. And now I feel like I can engage a bit more with what she did in the past.
You have. You've taken it to new heights.
Thanks.
You mentioned in your CFDA acceptance speech that fashion has confused objects of desire with popularity. Could you unpack that a bit?
Yeah, I think as these global luxury iconic houses have become so huge and so consolidated into just a few names, it's become this kind of product that feels so ubiquitous. I mean, it becomes about the popularity of a piece and not about the longer term game, which is the desirability of the brand. I just miss the days of creative direction that was really much more about dream making, myth making, the kind of collections that inspired me to devote my life to this. Those are not the collections that I see today.
Well, you have to go out on a limb and be bold to have collections like that.
Yeah, which is important.
You graciously advised our students on their senior collections yesterday, and one salient piece of advice you offered was recognition comes from repetition.
Yeah.
So wise.
It's a mantra that has proven to be so true. In their looks, they have some great ideas that should be exploited and repeated more, because that's when you get the recognition for that idea. It's something that's proven to be so deeply useful. Even the mantra for one of the images that's behind us is this petal work.
Yes,
right?
It's beautiful.
And it becomes something much greater than the sum of its parts. And the other thing I told them was that fashion is a industry built on this idea of repeated showings of work. So you show your work, you rip it up, you start over. You take what worked, you build on that.
You have to produce on schedule.
Yeah. And that's actually a huge relief, because if you screw it up, you get to do it over again.
You have such a groundedness. What do you feel are the challenges now that you're 5 years in
Yeah.
Was it more challenging that first show?
I was saying earlier today that the tagline I always imagined and wanted to hear from the first collection was, Daniel Roseberry's unforgettable debut.
Exactly.
This was what I was chasing. No one told me that the debut is by far the easiest part. And you have absolutely no idea what it feels like to put your work out there, to take that bow, to stand on that runway or whatever until it's done. And then from the moment that you realize that, the stakes get higher, and you go into the next season with a different kind of weight on your shoulders. And fashion loves a debut. People love young designers, they love the beginning, but there's a lot of debuts that never turn into, epic long careers.
You demonstrate a respect for the codes of the house, but you evolve those codes. That and the iconography of the house is so famous, but you're taking it in your own direction.
With a house like this, it was sort of sleeping for decades, right? It was a sleeping beauty, maybe the last great sleeping beauty, because most of the other ones had either carried on or had been revived already. And a lot of people cautioned me before I took this job that house revivals do not normally go well. And for me, it's been very gradually introducing the archives back into the modern day.
So smart to do that.
Really, really cautiously. And a lot of Elsa's most memorable work were collaborations with Cocteau or Dali or Man Ray. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to bond the legitimacy of the house to another artist.
No, you shouldn't.
Yeah, but a lot of people thought I should at the beginning. They were like, well, when is the collaboration happening? And I was like, well, I'm in collaboration with her. Yeah, well, maybe I'm the artist that her ethos is in collaboration with, and now I just tread really lightly. But the good thing is that if I'm ever stumped, the archives are the perfect place to remind, she had such an amazing catalog of work in not so long of the time. So
serendipitously, keys or symbols SCAD and Schiaparelli both embrace. SCAD is the key to many students' rewarding careers as creatives, from architects to user experience designers to actors to animators to filmmakers. If you ever decide to go back to animation, we teach that to fashion designers. To you, one key to success, you said, is humility and patience.
Yeah. I think it's the key. When I meet students working on their project, right, and they have the weight of the world on their shoulders, I'll ask the students, what designers do you love? Who inspired you to do this? If your greatest inspirations are, Geiger, who designed Alien, plus Cristobal Balenciaga, plus Frank Lloyd Wright, that unique alchemy is that's informing what you love. That's informing how you can become an original. But that happens over time. And I think it's so smart to lean on your inspiration. No one inspires you. There's such an alchemy of DJing these inspirations that I wish was more part of the way students felt about their work, because it's not centering yourself as much. I think when you center yourself too much, the weight can be too big to bear, almost.
And to find your inspirations outside of your own discipline.
Absolutely. And that's where you need to know what you love. Exactly.
And sometimes you hear that, where is my creativity going to come from? They're afraid, that they might never be creative again.
Yeah.
But creativity is never ending.
It is only ending if you don't give it away. You have to give it away. Exactly. That's how you regenerate. My grandma told me, never, ever be zealous of a good idea. Just give it away. Generosity, abundance, these are the things that can rejuvenate, put gas back in the tank. You cannot hold too tightly. I worked for Tom Brown for 10 years, giving everything I had away with a smile on my face. And it all came back.
Yes.
There were so many times where I was like, ugh, this is something I've loved for years. And you have to give it away. If you don't, you're doomed.
You described fashion as a service profession, and I feel the same way about education.
Yeah.
You are providing such an important service.
Mm.
It's part of a person's identity.
Yes.
It's-
It's protecting them. You know, when we dressed Lady Gaga for the inauguration,
That was fantastic.
which was amazing,
Yes.
historic, you know.
But think how much you contributed to that entire important event.
It was so incredible because I was in Paris listening to the New York Times podcast, following, you know, the election and everything, and I so desperately wanted to be a part of it. We had 10 days to do that, I think, from the call to the inauguration.
Wow. And it was a bulletproof jacket?
She had a bulletproof vest underneath. But I always imagined that morning being Stephanie Germanotta, being Lady Gaga. And she wakes up. Could she sleep? I have no idea. How could you? She gets ready for this historic, one of the most defining moments of her life. And when she looks in the closet and she has this gown, I mean, that's what we can do, is help her feel bulletproof and rise to that occasion. That's what I love about, whether it's dressing my mom, a client in Dubai, Beyonce, Gaga, whatever. It's providing this service, this something to help them meet the moment and be more of themselves while they do it.
And you're part of their memories forever, these special memories.
Yeah, which is amazing. It's an amazing way to be there without being there.
Well, I really admire the character of your leadership and everything that you're accomplishing, and I appreciate so much you being here with the students.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.